Have you ever felt like you're carrying the weight of the world on your shoulders? The burdens of grudges, fears, doubts, or toxic relationships that hold you back from living fully. Imagine reaching 75 years old and finally deciding to say, enough. This is exactly what I did. At 75, I realized that true wisdom lies in letting go of what no longer serves us and embracing the things that truly matter. In this video, I'm going to share the powerful lessons I've learned after years of ups and downs, joys and sorrows, and how you can apply them to transform your life, no matter your age. You'll discover why it's so important to release the past, whether it's grudges or regrets, and how forgiveness can bring you the peace and freedom you've been searching for. By watching until the end, you'll gain insights into overcoming the fears that paralyze us, like the fear of failure or loneliness, and find out how you can take control of your relationships, letting go of the toxic ones that drag you down. If you've ever struggled with self-doubt or felt trapped by the opinions of others, this video will show you how to break free, dream big again, and live with courage and authenticity. Don't miss out on these life-changing lessons, because whether you're 25, 50, or 75, the time to reclaim your life is now. Stay with me until the end, and you'll see how living with a free heart and a peaceful spirit can lead to a life filled with joy, wisdom, and fulfillment. If you are not subscribed, I recommend subscribing and activating the notification bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support means a lot to me, and if you enjoyed this video, you can help me continue spreading the valuable lessons by liking and sharing it. At 75 years old, I made a life-altering decision, a decision that came from the deepest corners of my soul, whispering to me that it was finally time to say, enough. Enough of holding onto the bitterness of past grudges, the suffocating grip of fear, and the chains of toxic relationships that drained my spirit for far too long. Enough of living with constant doubts that clouded my dreams and regrets that clung to me like shadows, haunting every step forward. It took decades of experiencing life's harshest lessons, but at this age, I finally unlocked a profound truth, a truth that had always been there, just waiting for me to discover it. True wisdom, the kind that brings peace and freedom, doesn't come from accumulating things, accolades, or even memories. It comes from learning the delicate art of letting go. Letting go of the burdens that weigh us down, of the thoughts and people that no longer serve our highest good, and of the false expectations we've carried for far too long. It's about embracing, with open arms, the few precious things that truly matter: love, peace, and self-worth. This is my story of liberation, of breaking free from the shackles that once held me captive. It is a journey of deep fulfillment, but it isn't always easy. I have traveled a long road, a road full of life's sharpest twists and unexpected turns. There have been exhilarating highs, where I felt invincible, where joy filled every corner of my being. But there were also heart-wrenching lows, moments where I questioned everything, moments when sorrow wrapped itself around me, and I wondered if I'd ever feel whole again. Yet through it all, I persisted. I kept moving forward, even when the weight of my burdens felt almost too much to bear. Along the way, I witnessed breathtaking sunrises that painted the sky in hues so beautiful they seemed almost heavenly, each one a reminder that even after the darkest nights, light will always return. And I have watched the sunset on countless stages of my life, stages of growth, change, loss, and healing. With every chapter that closed, a new one began, and each new chapter brought me closer to understanding what truly matters in this brief, precious life. I didn't arrive at this place of wisdom overnight. It took years of introspection, tears, laughter, and resilience. But standing here now, looking back at the road I've traveled, I can say with certainty that the real journey wasn't just about navigating the external world. It was about navigating the inner world, the world of my own heart and mind. And it's from this inner journey that I learned the greatest lesson of all, that to live fully and freely, you must first learn to let go of the things that no longer nurture your soul. So, this is not just the story of a 75-year-old deciding to change their life. It is the story of reclaiming power, embracing the wisdom that comes from living through pain and joy alike, and finding peace in the simple, profound truth of letting go. This is the story of my liberation, and if you choose, it can be yours too. Throughout all these years, I have come to understand that life is a fragile dance, a delicate balance between what we choose to accept and what we have the strength to release. It's a truth that reveals itself slowly, often buried beneath the layers of time and experience. As the years passed, I accumulated so much, so many memories, both sweet and bitter, so many experiences that shaped me, objects that I once believed held significance, and people who, at one point, I thought would remain in my life forever. Some of these things became treasures in my heart, cherished and irreplaceable, while others simply took up space, crowding my mind, my soul, and my life. If you're still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 1 below to let me know that you are still here with me. With every decade that slipped through my fingers like sand, I felt a subtle but undeniable shift. It was as if my life was gradually filling up, not with joy or contentment, but with an invisible weight, an ever-present burden that pressed down on me, stifling my spirit. This weight, though unseen by others, was deeply felt by me. It was the accumulation of unresolved emotions, unhealed wounds, and unnecessary attachments. It was the burden of holding on to things and people who no longer brought light into my life, but instead left shadows in their wake. And then, when I reached 75 years old, something within me shifted. It wasn't a moment of weakness, but rather a moment of incredible clarity. I realized that if I didn't make a change, this weight I carried would only continue to grow, suffocating my chances at true peace and fulfillment. And so, I made a radical but deeply necessary decision, a decision that would alter the course of my remaining years. I stood tall, looked at the burdens I had been dragging with me for far too long, and said, enough. Enough of letting my life be ruled by the things that didn't serve me, by the regrets that haunted me, by the fears that paralyzed me, and by the toxic ties that held me back. Saying enough wasn't just a word. It was a declaration, a reclaiming of my life, and the beginning of a new chapter. One filled with the promise of lightness, peace, and freedom. Enough of carrying grudges that shackled me to the past, keeping me anchored in bitterness and pain. For far too long, I held on to those grudges, believing that they somehow gave me power, that they protected me from being hurt again. But the truth is, they were nothing more than chains, keeping me bound to a version of myself that I no longer wanted to be. In time, I came to realize that forgiveness is not a gift we bestow upon others. It is an act of profound liberation for ourselves. By letting go of the past, by releasing the grip of offenses and wounds that once cut so deep, I created space within myself for peace and serenity to take root. It was as if a weight I had been carrying for decades suddenly lifted, and I could finally breathe again. I learned that true strength doesn't come from holding on to anger or plotting revenge. It comes from the courage to let go and to move forward. The ability to release the past, to say, "This no longer has power over me," is a strength that few understand until they've felt the freedom it brings. It's not about forgetting what happened, but about freeing yourself from its hold, about reclaiming your energy and your heart. And just as I let go of grudges, I knew it was time to release the fears that had paralyzed me for so long. Fears that loomed large, like shadows in the night. Fears of failure, rejection, loneliness, and the unknown. I now understand that fears, much like shadows, only grow larger and more menacing when we turn our backs on them. They feed on our avoidance, becoming more powerful the longer we let them linger in the corners of our minds. But when we turn to face them head-on, when we confront them with courage, they begin to dissipate, losing the strength we once believed they had. So, I said enough. Enough of living in fear, enough of letting those shadows dictate my life. I chose to confront them, to walk through them, and in doing so, I found a new kind of freedom, a life no longer ruled by fear but by courage and hope. At 75 years old, I've finally come to understand a powerful truth. The fear of failure, rejection, and loneliness are nothing more than illusions, phantoms that prevent us from truly living. These fears, which once seemed so overwhelming and real, were simply barriers of the mind, keeping me from embracing life in all its fullness. For years, I let these fears dictate my choices, allowed them to shrink my world, and hindered my ability to step into new experiences. But the lesson I've learned is this: courage isn't about banishing fear entirely. Courage is about acknowledging the fear, feeling it deeply, and then choosing to move forward anyway. It's about realizing that fear will always be present in one form or another, but it doesn't have to control us. It doesn't have to be the deciding factor in how we live our lives. I also came to recognize that maintaining toxic relationships was like willingly tying myself to anchors that dragged me down, deeper into emotional turmoil. Over time, I realized that some people, no matter how close we once were, can become heavyweights in our lives. These relationships, once filled with promise, can slowly transform into something that drains our energy and clouds our joy. It took me years to accept this truth, but once I did, I knew it was time to let go of those who no longer uplifted me. I chose, instead, to surround myself with people who truly appreciate me, who see my worth, and who respect me for who I am. These are the ones who bring light into my life, not darkness. They lift me, not weigh me down. They offer love and kindness without conditions, and their presence enriches my days. In shedding the toxic connections, I found myself lighter, freer, and filled with a deeper sense of peace. I've learned that true companionship isn't about quantity, it's about the quality of the relationships we nurture. Surrounding ourselves with those who bring light into our lives is one of the greatest gifts we can give ourselves. In this profound cleansing of my life, I discovered something invaluable. True companionship is rarely found in numbers, but it is always unconditional and genuine. It's not about how many people you have around you, but about the authenticity of those relationships. I've learned that real connection comes from the few who stand by you with unwavering support, love, and sincerity. The quality of human relationships, I now know, far outweighs the quantity. There is a special kind of beauty in relationships that are built on mutual respect, trust, and a deep understanding of one another. Those are the connections that enrich the soul and bring light into even the darkest of days. As part of this journey, I decided to free my heart and mind from the doubts that once held me back, doubts that stood like unyielding barriers between me and my dreams. For too long, I allowed those doubts to limit my potential, to make me second-guess myself at every turn. They were the bricks on the road that kept me from moving forward, slowing my progress and stifling my imagination. But at 75 years old, I realized that those doubts were nothing but illusions, built by fear and insecurity. I decided to cast them aside, and in doing so, I reclaimed the freedom to dream. If you're still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment below to let me know that you are still here with me. And now, at this stage of life, I find myself dreaming with the same wild excitement and boundless hope that I once had as a child. I dream without the self-imposed barriers of too late or too difficult. I dream without the weight of judgment or the fear of failure. It's liberating, this ability to dream again, unburdened by the constraints of time or circumstance. I've come to understand that dreams don't come with an expiration date. As long as we are alive, we can continue to chase them with the same joy and enthusiasm we had in our youth. At 75 years old, I permitted myself to believe in those dreams again, to imagine a future as bright and full of possibilities as the one I envisioned when I was young. It is never too late to dream, to let go of the doubts, and to embrace the endless potential within us. Dreams, I have come to understand, have no expiration date. They do not fade with time or age. Instead, they remain within us, waiting for the moment when we are ready to embrace them once more. Gone are the incessant worries about what others might think or say, the constant fear of judgment that once loomed over my every decision. The opinion of others, I now see, is an invisible prison, one that we willingly confine ourselves to, unaware of how it slowly robs us of our authenticity, our joy, and our freedom. For years, I let myself be trapped by that prison, by the need for approval and the fear of disappointing others. But no more. I have come to the life-altering realization that the only voice that truly matters is the one that speaks from within, my conscience. It is the voice of my truth, my values, and my deepest desires. When I learned to listen to that voice, I found a clarity I had been missing all along. Living to please others, I discovered, is a surefire path to dissatisfaction. It is an endless cycle of striving for approval that will never come in the way we hope. At 75 years old, I chose to break free from that cycle. I chose to be true to myself and to live in alignment with my principles, regardless of the criticism or expectations of others. Gone are the regrets that once haunted me like ghosts, whispering of missed opportunities and paths not taken. Yes, I have made mistakes, many, but I have also learned from each one of them. Every misstep, every wrong turn was a lesson in disguise, a stepping stone on the path to greater wisdom and understanding. I no longer view my mistakes as failures. Instead, I see them as necessary parts of my journey, shaping the person I am today. Regret, I've realized, is just another form of self-imposed suffering, and I refuse to carry it with me any longer. I look back on my life with acceptance, embracing the imperfections and knowing that every experience, both the good and the bad, has contributed to the richness of who I am. At 75, I stand in my truth, unburdened by the weight of others' opinions and free from the chains of regret. I am more alive, more myself, than I have ever been, and that, to me, is the greatest triumph of all. Each mistake I've made has been a lesson, a valuable stepping stone on the long path toward wisdom. In my younger years, I often viewed my missteps with shame or regret, wondering how different my life might have been if I had chosen differently. But with time, I've come to realize that every error, every fall, was a necessary part of my growth. Each lesson taught me something new about myself, about life, and about what truly matters. Slowly, I learned to accept my past with all its imperfections because it has shaped me into who I am today. My flaws, my triumphs, my setbacks, they all weave together to form the tapestry of my life. As I look back now, I see that every stumble, every wrong turn, every unexpected detour was guiding me to exactly where I needed to be. The moments of uncertainty, the times when I felt lost or unsure of my direction, were the moments that helped me grow the most. They were opportunities to learn, to reflect, and to change. And now, standing here at 75, I can say with absolute clarity that I wouldn't change a thing. Every choice I made, good or bad, was essential to my journey. Today, as I reflect on the decision to finally say enough, I feel lighter and freer, as if a great weight has been lifted from my shoulders. I realize now that true wisdom doesn't come from accumulating more things, more experiences, or more accolades. Instead, wisdom lies in the ability to let go. Letting go of what no longer serves us, of what holds us back, and of what keeps us from being who we are meant to be. It's about releasing the toxic relationships, the unnecessary burdens, and the false narratives we tell ourselves. By letting go, I've found space for peace, serenity, and joy. I've let go of the idea that I need to be perfect or that my life needs to be flawless to be meaningful. I've let go of the fear of judgment, the need for external validation, and the weight of regrets. In doing so, I have uncovered a deeper sense of freedom and authenticity than I ever thought possible. Letting go has allowed me to step fully into who I am, embrace life with open arms, and appreciate the simple, profound truth that we are always evolving, always learning, and always growing. In letting go, I have discovered a lightness I haven't felt in decades, a weight lifted from my heart, a freedom that allows me to savor every moment with a sense of fullness and presence that was once elusive. It's as though I've been unshackled from the past, free to live in the present with clarity and intention. This newfound freedom isn't just about living without burdens. It's about living with joy, with purpose, and with an appreciation for every fleeting moment. Each day that dawns brings with it a fresh opportunity, a chance to be truly happy, to embrace gratitude for the simplest of blessings, and to live authentically, without the masks we so often wear to please others. This journey of self-liberation has taught me that authenticity is the key to a meaningful life. When we shed the expectations placed upon us by society, by others, or even by ourselves, we begin to live more fully, more truly. Every sunrise is a reminder that we are given another chance to be better, to be kinder, to love more deeply, and to appreciate the beauty around us. There is freedom in knowing that each day offers a clean slate, a new beginning, and a chance to realign with our truest selves. I've come to understand, perhaps more deeply than ever before, that time is the most valuable resource we possess. It's not money, success, or material possessions that define the quality of our lives. It's how we choose to spend our time. Time is finite, and once it's gone, it never returns. This realization has made me more intentional in how I live each day. I no longer squander time on things or people that drain me. Instead, I invested in the moments and relationships that bring meaning, peace, and joy. If you're still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 3 below to let me know that you are still here with me. We must use our time wisely, not waiting for someday to start living fully, but realizing that today, right now, is all we have. This moment, this breath is a gift, and it's up to us to make the most of it. By letting go of what doesn't serve us, we create space for the things that truly matter, and in doing so, we find a sense of freedom that allows us to live each day with a full and grateful heart. To young and old alike, I say this: don't wait too long to declare enough. Don't wait too long to release yourself from the burdens that no longer serve you, the fears that hold you back, or the toxic ties that drain your spirit. Life is far too short to carry unnecessary weights, and the longer we hold on to them, the more they rob us of our joy, our peace, and our potential to truly live. The time to act is now because, in the end, true wealth is not found in material possessions or accomplishments. It lies in living with a free heart and a peaceful spirit. That is where real abundance exists. There is no age limit for this transformation. No matter how many years have passed or how deeply entrenched you may feel in your current circumstances, it's never too late to begin living fully. You don't have to wait for the perfect time, because that time is today, this very moment. At 75 years old, I can stand here with pride and serenity and say, without hesitation, that I have chosen to live fully. I have chosen to let go of what no longer serves me, to embrace the wisdom that comes with releasing the past, and to fill my life with gratitude, love, and peace. I urge you to remember that life is a precious, fleeting gift. Each day we are given is a new opportunity, an opportunity to be happy, to grow, to learn, and to love deeply. Don't let another day slip away without embracing it for all it has to offer. Don't let fear, doubt, or regret keep you from living the life you deserve. Every moment is a chance to start anew, to reclaim your freedom, and to live with intention and purpose. So, whether you are young or old, the time to say enough is now. Don't let fear, doubt, or the weight of unnecessary burdens steal from you the precious opportunity to be who you truly are. These invisible chains, the what-ifs, the worries, and the regrets, are like thieves in the night, robbing you of your authenticity, your peace, and your ability to live a life of meaning and purpose. Living fully, I have learned, is not just an act of courage, but also profound wisdom. It takes bravery to step out of the shadows of fear and into the light of your true self, but it also takes wisdom to recognize that the only life worth living is the one where you honor your own heart and soul. And that wisdom, I have discovered, didn't come overnight. It was forged through every step, every stumble, every victory, and every loss in my long journey through life. With each experience, I grew, I learned, and I became more attuned to what truly matters. I've come to realize that it doesn't matter how much time we have left. What matters is how we choose to live the time we are given. Whether you are young with endless years ahead or older with fewer days on the horizon, the choice remains the same. How will you live today? At 75 years old, I feel more alive than I ever have. Not because of my age, but because I've finally learned to value every single moment, to let go of the things that no longer serve me, and to embrace with open arms the things that bring me peace, joy, and fulfillment. It is in this freedom, this unburdening of the heart, that I've found true life. Life is not about how much time we have left, but about how we fill each day with meaning, how we choose to spend our moments, and how we connect with the things that truly matter. Today, I live with gratitude, with purpose, and with an unwavering sense of peace that comes from knowing I am exactly where I need to be. And that is the greatest lesson I can share with you. The lesson that has shaped my life and brought me to a place of peace and fulfillment. So today, I invite you to take a moment and reflect on your own life. Ask yourself, what unnecessary burdens are you still carrying? Are there past regrets, unresolved grudges, or self-imposed expectations that weigh you down? What fears are standing in your way, preventing you from moving forward with confidence and purpose? Are they fears of failure, rejection, or the unknown? And perhaps most importantly, what toxic relationships are still lingering in your life? Those that drain your energy, hold you back, or fill your days with negativity. You don't need to wait any longer to make the changes you know are necessary. Don't wait for the right time, because that time is now. Don't wait to say, enough, because every day spent holding on to these burdens is a day lost to fear and doubt. You deserve more. You deserve the freedom to live as your truest self, to let go of what no longer serves you, and to embrace what truly matters: love, peace, and authenticity. At the end of the day, true freedom doesn't come from external success or the approval of others. It comes from within, from the decision to live authentically, to honor yourself, and to value what truly brings you joy and meaning. That's where real peace is found. So I urge you, don't wait any longer to begin living the life you deserve. Say enough and step into the freedom of being exactly who you are meant to be. As we come to the end of this journey together, I want to leave you with one final question. What have you learned so far? Take a moment to reflect on everything we've discussed about letting go of unnecessary burdens, overcoming fear, and embracing true freedom. I encourage you to think about the one lesson that resonated with you the most. Now, I invite you to comment below this video and share the one thing you've learned that you will bring into practice in your own life. If you found value in this video, please leave your comment below, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Your support helps us continue sharing messages that inspire and uplift. Thank you for watching, and remember, the power to live authentically is always within your reach.